Men of Reddit, what is the most stupid reason a partner dumped you but it still hit you hard? Although it was me who ended things, my ex always belittled me for not having a great job or career at the age of 25. Always told me guys your age are making six figures while you waste your time traveling and working a shitty job. It honestly crushed my confidence because I agreed with her somewhere deep inside me. The rat race gets to you sometimes. It's been 2 years and it's the first time since that I'm feeling somewhat good about where I am in life. I'm trying to accept myself for me, and I was lucky enough to get a pretty solid new job in the middle of the pandemic. Feeling good about 2021. My first ex-girlfriend gave me 6 reasons why she wanted to break up. Let me rephrase, she gave me 6 reasons why she thought I would one day want to break up with her. One of them was because she snored, even though my snoring was so measurably worse that I sleep with a CPAP. Because of your parents. Because I want to live on my own first in the house I secretly bought while we were apartment shopping, to rent, to move in together. Dated a girl for 2 weeks, technically a month, as she and her family went away for a 2-week holiday 2 weeks into dating, and she came back and broke up with me saying she can't be with me as she realizes she will end up cheating on me and she doesn't want to lose me in her life. 7 months down the line she dates a guy for 3 years and the guy lives 2 hours by local flight away. I like taller guys. But I'm 6'6". Saw someone who was 7'2" last year, shat my pants. I dated a girl who was not super religious, and neither was I. We dated for quite some time before she dumped me kind of out of nowhere. I asked her why and she said her parents didn't think she should be dating me because I wasn't religious. But, neither was she. We were both 22. She broke up with me for giving me chlamydia. I saw a girl I hadn't seen since like grade 7 at the bar one night, I gave her a hug, we chatted, she left. Girlfriend at the time saw this from across the bar, and I guess apparently I cheated on her. Little did I know, she was already cheating on me with the dude she's with now. Took a lot of therapy to get over that one. Edit, I was so messed up by this, I didn't even talk to a girl for like 2 years after. She blew a tire driving home from my house and damaged the underside of her car too. She immediately phoned me crying, we sorted out the car and got her home safely. Then when she found out about the damage, she broke up with me and said she couldn't afford a relationship right now. I was quite confused and surprised. She took 3 Xanax and got mad when I wouldn't have sex with her after. Because I was wary about the dude I didn't need to worry about. A few days later someone let me know she slept with him the day after the breakup. Dodged that bullet, still sucked though, I loved her. That I didn't have a job and couldn't drive, even though I did and could. P.S. Please, clowns, stop arguing with me about this. I was there, I know what happened. She was a personal trainer and her schedule was flexible and mostly on her terms. She said I didn't give her enough attention. She thought because I worked from home my 9 to 5 wasn't a real 9 to 5 or something. I'm a software engineer lead with several meetings a day. In my mid-20s I was rejected because I didn't own my own house in one of the most expensive areas in the country. I fell out of love for you, but you are my best friend and soulmate and I still wanna live with you. Me, nope. She saw me take what she thought was a hit of weed. I live in a legal state and it wouldn't have affected my job. What she saw was me chewing on a straw, couldn't convince her otherwise even though I had the straw in my hand. I got hit with the nice guy label before. Unprompted, this girl once told me that she couldn't date me because I was too nice. Funny thing is that I had never once shown any interest in this girl. Never flirted with her or anything, so I was confused why she would even say it. So I guess I was preemptively dumped that one time. Edit, a word. Really not stupid, but I dated a girl who couldn't decide if she was bi or gay. We would have sex and we got along great, then she would decide that she wanted to be gay, and go date some girl. I didn't have a problem with that, but, by accident, I met her gay GF. That was a really awkward encounter, but we got to talking, and we figured out she was using both of us. We both broke up with her. It wasn't the sex choice that killed it, it was the using part that did. Girl broke up with me because I watched anime. She didn't like that. Thought anime was weird. We were together for quite a while, actually. Anyway, years later we reconnected and as it turns out, she got super into anime later on. She tried talking to me about Tokyo Ghoul and I had to inform her that I no longer watched that gay shit. After some time, a girl dumped me because my voice sounded fake, as if I was acting all the time. I still haven't coped with the thing. Me, but just a month ago you said you loved me for who I am and that you would love me for a long ass time. Her, I changed my mind. When my wife cheated on me with another man, got pregnant, and said it was my fault. Stupid me convinced that no one else could possibly love me took it super hard and still tried to salvage it. What I was thinking. I read a book about doctors in crisis areas which was packed full of casual sex. So now I will become a doctor in Africa and fuck everything that moves. Yes, that means we are over. 3 months later I have her on the phone, crying because she was out on the savannah in a hospital full of devout Christians. Turns out the book was a bit of a dramatization. She said her dad, a priest, had had a visit from God to tell him that I wasn't the right man for his daughter, so she wanted to break up. I laughed in her face and agreed. Weeks later she's outside my house wanting to get back together, don't think so. Super religious family and the girl has now had a baby and is raising the child as a single mother. I wonder if God warned the dad about that? LMAO. Because I like bagels. After 2 years of being together, the fact that I eat an everything bagel every few months is what made her decide we were done. I met a girl I absolutely adored. We were a great match, lots in common etc., amazing sex. One day she just goes, we need to stop seeing each other. I asked why and she said because she can see how much I love her. I didn't understand and she said it's not fair on me that she knew if she asked me anything I would say yes. One of my exes broke up with me because when we went out to a bar, I'd only have 2 beers over the course of the night, and not get wasted with her and her friends. I was the one that drove them there most of the time. Kinda stupid but it hurt at the time. So my first girlfriend was this abusive, alcoholic girl who was 5 years older than me. She was from a different culture and got off on my rock and roll look, struggled with the shame of weird evangelical religiosity. We fought and broke up and got back together constantly. She said that's what true love was. Anyway, one time she was over and we were having make-up sex in the doggy style position, and just as I pulled out and busted the coconut, she happened to turn her head sideways so her ear was facing me and I accidentally came in her ear, all the way from back there. She literally freaked the fuck out. Told me it was a sign from God. And dumped me on the spot. Of course we were back together in a few hours. But this one time really makes me laugh baha. I got a offer at a job that was miles better than the job I was at. Better pay, better hours, better trav time. She said I was changing and she didn't like it, dumped me over the phone and that was that. Not mad now though, if I could go back and choose her or the job, I'd choose the job 11 times out of 10. After almost 6 months, she didn't even give me a real reason. We never fought, we were always happy together. Then she had a day where she just rethought her entire life and decided that we should just be friends. One day we were together and she loved me, the next time I saw her she didn't. I was really good at picking up on how she felt, but this was written all over her and I could tell her feelings for me were gone completely. To this day I don't know why she left and I haven't been in love since. Our relationship was the happiest time in my life by an enormous margin. The breakup was the most painful thing I've been through by quite a margin as well, even though I've been through some painful shit. I'm only just beginning to be back at the baseline level I was at before we were together. So yeah, I'd call that a pretty stupid reason, and I'd say it hit pretty hard. I had a long-time partner break up with me because she saw me in a verbal argument with my best friend and she claimed 5 months later she had to break up with me because she saw a side of me that she never knew existed. Dated a girl for about 3 weeks. She's acting weird all the sudden. Not answering my texts, so I back off and just leave her alone. She calls and says she wants to meet. We meet at a bar and she proceeds to tell me she wants to break up. But she follows up that she doesn't want me to be too upset because she wants to date again later. She's just leaving for spring break and doesn't want to cheat on me. I just told her good luck and up and left. I was astonished by the train of thought. Edit, first ever award. Thank you. Back when I was in my mid-20s I had been seeing a girl for about 5 to 6 months. One night she sends me a random text message saying we should break up because I was not an independent adult. I owned my own house, and had a good job. She lived in her parents' basement, they were rich so she basically owned the massive basement to herself which was like 2,000 square feet, and drove a Lexus her dad gave her for her birthday. It was so confusing but she sent that message and then basically just blocked me and disappeared, so maybe that is what bothered me more. We didn't break up. Nothing bad happened. After a month of dating, one day I didn't call her and she didn't call me and we just stopped talking. We never officially broke up. We've been dating for over 15 years now. Don't see each other much. Been married to someone else for over 10 years. The pressure of living a double life can get overwhelming at times but I get by. I wonder where she is? I was on off dating this freaky girl in bed who had piercings and did drugs. One day we were talking about God and I said I don't believe in it and she was, we can't meet again if you don't believe in God, which seemed like weirdest thing coming from open-minded person. Edit. I didn't specify that when we started seeing each other she was making fun of religion and that they all are cults. Girl I lived with dumped me because we got in a huge argument after she was pissed off that I spent a Saturday helping a neighbor paint their kitchen, the same neighbor who helped us take down a tree the previous fall. She always got annoyed by me wanting to help neighbors and friends do things. Imagine getting mad at that. Fucking ungrateful needy cunt. She's still single and I'm happily married. She no longer wants the responsibility of being someone's wife. End of a 10-year relationship. To be honest, there were many things wrong with the relationship, and we were both pretty much equally to blame. Divorce turned out to be the right thing for us and we're both much happier / better off, it's just that I'll never get why she chose that particular one-liner. It's possible that you might overdid the giving all of your love and attention, meaning you gave so much that it was smothering. To point of she wanted nice, but not too nice. As in you're dropping your own needs and interests to focus on her happiness, which is unattractive. A lot of these are just people who can't see that their partner just made up an excuse to get out. When I was in my younger 20s I shared a Minecraft server with my then girlfriend. She had created a farm of sorts and had one pig that she'd named and had fallen in love with, apparently. I had a big plan to hide it in a hole in the ground, except when it fell in the hole it died. That was the straw to break the camel's back. TLDR, my ex-girlfriend left me because I killed her pig in Minecraft. She broke up with me 5 or 4 years ago, because she was late for the shuttle bus organized by our university and I wasn't. I didn't want to miss my finals of that year, so I got in and went to the uni. Turns out she got up, dressed up, and fell asleep again after I have called her to check on her. I was like, WTF is wrong with you? It hit me hard, but I got over quickly. On the first days of 2021 she reached out to me and apologized, saying how stupid of her that was and she still feels warm, remembering our time together. To say I was weirded out is to say nothing. I like country music and you don't. This wasn't middle school, she was mid-20s and I was early 30s. In reality she had met someone else and somehow couldn't tell me that. Which is ironic because I could deal with that information far easier than some BS excuse, at least it's a reason that makes sense. Because I was playing piano, she thought I was gay, sad face. Might not seem stupid to most, but after an 8-year relationship, started dating at 14, she broke up with me out of the blue because I stopped being Christian after I briefly died a couple years before. We talked about marriage for years and I even had the ring. Just consider that when she said you were too nice, what I'm hoping she meant was conflict avoidant. Not that you should search out fights, but more question how much you self-advocate and say what you think or feel about situations. My husband can be that way. He lets people trample all over him sometimes just so they don't get more mad. It's super frustrating seeing him get taken advantage of. I know a girl who broke up with a guy because he gave her a love letter with wrong grammar/spelling. She corrected it, gave it back to him and never talked to him again. Why do I always see these questions and immediately think is a JR assistant writer from BuzzFeed or Hello Giggles looking for material to write about? She joined a cult. I was in a relationship in 2017. I was working in Mumbai, India at a high-paying job. I was planning to take a month-long leave in October 2018 and go to Nepal for hiking solo. She didn't like this. So, I go to Nepal and when I am in the middle of my month-long hike, I was on 2 long hikes, Annapurna Circuit and EBC 3 passes, I got WhatsApp messages from her that she dumped me. I don't really know what happened to her suddenly. 2 months later she posts her engagement pictures with another guy. Sometimes I feel it happened for good. I dated this girl for about 3 weeks. Prior to that we had been chatting for like a month, she was visiting her parents. All in all our relationship lasted for about 2 months. I spent a night at her place and everything was fine. The next day she says she changed her mind, and that she isn't fit for a relationship right now. The next day I say her on Tinder. I was too sexual. In my 20s, I was dumped because I would never own a lake house, and that was her dream. To be fair, she was right, but it still hurt like hell. The good news is, you can rent lake houses, and I did spend a year living on the lake, just without her. Not a stupid reason, too nice means boring, just not as mean to say. Race, I'm black, she's white. I woke up to a I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore, my family would never accept a black guy. Really sucked a lot of self-esteem out of me and it's really been tough to be confident in myself after that happened. To this day if I ever find myself attracted to anyone of a different race I genuinely don't go for it because I'm black. When I was much younger, I declined to continue dating someone BC he insisted I straighten my very curly hair. He just couldn't be seen with me if my hair wasn't straightened. I love my curly hair, and I am way too lazy to use my time on my hair of all things, when I actually like the curls. It was insane. So he ended it. I was actually relieved. World of Warcraft. She was addicted and between being in school, working full-time, me and raiding with her guild something had to give. I did not win that one. Note, I am from a third world country and love marriage means dating a woman and getting married instead of elders arranging a marriage. I was dumped because her parents had an unsuccessful love marriage and she believed that our marriage would be in shambles if we ever married. Also, she wanted to study and crack an exam to be government servant and it is a big deal in my country where I come from. P.S. I was dumped because of above-mentioned reasons, but I believe the main reason could be that she fell out of love. I still have feelings for her. I have still not shaken up the fact that we are not together anymore after 2 years.